You know, there's something incredibly fascinating about the way we've been conditioned to believe that self-sacrifice is noble. What if I told you that the true courage lies instead in choosing yourself? Most people spend their days prioritizing the needs of others, thinking they're being virtuous, yet they don't realize the cost of this misplaced virtue. It often leads to a life half-lived, a life spent in silence as their own dreams and desires are pushed aside, buried beneath societal expectations. You see, when you finally make that bold choice to honor your own aspirations, it's like a dormant seed bursting through the soil, stretching toward the sunlight, yearning for growth. Suddenly, the universe doesn't just sit back in silence. It responds. When you align with your authentic self, it's as if you engage with the primal laws of attraction, catalyzing a powerful transformation that resonates through every aspect of your life. You attract possibilities, opportunities, and connections that were once obscured, hidden behind the veil of self-denial. Let's take a moment to dig deeper. This isn't simply about feeling good or achieving personal goals. It's about a profound shift in the energy you emit into the world. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself in conversations where, despite smiling and nodding along, your inner voice was screaming, "This is not me"? You felt trapped, confined within an echo chamber of expectations, the demands to be polite, agreeable, and accommodating to others. This is what keeps so many individuals paralyzed in unfulfilling jobs or draining relationships, consumed by responsibilities that were never theirs to carry in the first place. Let me share a story with you. I once knew someone who dedicated their life to pleasing everyone around them, friends, family, colleagues. They worked late nights to deliver impeccable results, often cancelled personal plans to help others, and crafted their existence to fit within someone else's mold. But one day they woke up to a gut-wrenching realization. They felt completely empty and lost. They had ignored their own heart's calling for so long that they couldn't even recognize it anymore. It was as if they were standing in a beautiful garden, filled with dazzling flowers, yet remained blind to their vibrant colors. The awakening was painful, but profound. Instead of defaulting to self-sacrifice, they chose to honor their passions and aspirations, embarking on a journey of rediscovery and genuine self-love. The moment they shifted their focus back to themselves, everything transformed. Not because their circumstances changed overnight, but because they stopped tiptoeing around their own life. They began to emanate a frequency that resonated with abundance, connection, and opportunity. This is why self-care and self-honor are not just trendy phrases. They are powerful actions that pave the way for lasting transformation. They invite you to embrace your own worth, challenging you to step away from the echoing needs of others and into a life defined by you. But here's where it gets interesting. The transformation this requires calls for courage. The courage to say no sometimes, the courage to prioritize your own well-being, and the courage to leave behind the shadows cast by the expectations of the people around you. Let me ask you this. How many times have you pushed your dreams aside for the comfort of others? It's easy to be entrapped by the belief that fulfilling someone else's needs is a virtue, but the moment you reclaim your self-worth, the universe conspires to support those who dare to stand in their own power. You begin to radiate an energy that attracts opportunities tangential to your authentic self, and let me tell you, it is liberating. So as you take a moment to reflect on your own journey, I want to pose a question. Are you ready to step into your own worthiness? Are you willing to release the guilt that often accompanies choosing yourself? It's time to acknowledge that deeper journey awaiting you, one where love for yourself becomes the bedrock of your existence. This is just the beginning, the surface of a realization that can transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you. True nobility lies in honoring your journey. The strength to prioritize your own desires, the bravery to choose yourself, is a path worthy of exploration. When you embrace this truth, you're not just elevating your own life, you're also inspiring those around you by showing them the beauty of living authentically. Now here's where it gets really interesting. If what I've just shared with you resonates, I want you to feel it deeply because there's a world of understanding waiting just beneath the surface. When we talk about self-love and honor, we must dive into the heart of what prevents most people from embracing this truth. The psychological mechanism at play here is a profound one, deeply rooted in fear and conditioning. Many have been taught that self-sacrifice is a noble facade. You've been trained to see prioritizing others as the hallmark of virtue, while your own needs quietly linger at the bottom of your to-do list. This constant neglect becomes a weight, a burden that can crush your spirit. You may even find that you've built your life around being what others want you to be instead of who you truly are. But here's what I want you to understand. This mindset doesn't serve you, nor does it serve others. You may have heard the saying, "You can't pour from an empty cup." Let me break that down. When you're depleted, your ability to genuinely assist and uplift those around you diminishes. It creates a cycle of resentment and burnout that stifles your joy. Think about the last time you felt obligated to attend an event, commit to a project, or help a friend, all while suppressing an inner voice whispering that you needed time for yourself. Imagine that discomfort swirling within you like a storm, each wave of obligation pushing you further away from your own essence. Let me tell you about someone I knew, a brilliant woman, working tirelessly to meet the needs of her friends and family. Always available, she was the ultimate caretaker, the first to lend a hand. But one day, during a routine chat over coffee, she shared her growing sense of unease. "I feel like I'm disappearing," she said, her eyes clouded with a mixture of exhaustion and confusion. Through her stories, I recognized the pattern. Years of fulfillment had turned into years of denial. She had been so focused on serving others that she had forgotten what it felt like to honor her own dreams. Yearning for vacation, for adventure, for a simple break, she pushed those desires aside as selfish. And so she spent years staring at her own reflection, recognizing in the mirror a stranger she had created, someone strained and brittle rather than vibrant and alive. You see, this is the hidden cost of neglecting yourself. It starts small, a missed opportunity, a forgotten dream, a silent compromise. But over time, those small sacrifices accumulate like stones in your path, creating a mountain of unmet aspirations that seem impossible to climb. But here's the deeper truth. Reclaiming your self-worth isn't about being dismissive of others. It's about cultivating a sustainable energy that nourishes both you and those you love. When you stand in your power, when you finally start honoring your own needs, you become a beacon, drawing people towards you not as a burden, but as a source of inspiration. Now let's take a moment to sit with this realization. What does it mean to honor your own dreams? It's not just a vague concept. This is about making tangible, actionable choices that bring you closer to the life you desire. It's about intentional acts of self-care that rejuvenate your spirit and energize your passions. Perhaps you begin with small steps, vowing to take a few minutes each day to check in on yourself. Ask yourself, what do I truly need right now? A 5-minute stretch, a quiet cup of tea, or simply listening to music that ignites your soul can open the doorway to a greater shift. But let's not shy away from the potential resistance you may face. When you begin to shift your focus inward, there will inevitably be those who resist. There will be questions, confusion, and perhaps even a little pushback from those who are accustomed to you playing the role of the self-sacrificial caretaker. Remember, this shift is not about alienating those around you. Rather, it is about including them in your journey toward authenticity. One of the paradoxes here is that as you step into your truth, as you reclaim your narrative, you invite others to join you, not as burdens, but as fellow travelers on a path illuminated by your passion and authenticity. When your light shines brightly, you give others permission to do the same. This is the kind of transformative energy that is absolutely contagious. You may be wondering how to navigate the inevitable discomfort that arises when you begin prioritizing your own dreams. The truth of the matter is this: the journey won't always be easy. There will be societal expectations tugging at you, nagging at your conscience, insisting that you should be doing more for others. It's important to recognize that these external voices don't define your worth. You do. You don't have to abandon your loved ones in this process. Instead, you can learn to engage with them as equals on a shared path, one where your needs are as valid as theirs. You see, standing in your power is a revolutionary act, and it reminds those around you that they too are worthy of love, joy, and fulfillment. And as you explore this new realm of possibilities, I want to reiterate just how important it is to let go of the guilt associated with prioritizing yourself. Guilt can be a persistent shadow, attempting to convince you that you're being selfish. But here's the beautiful irony. Choosing yourself is not a weakness. It's the bravest step you can take. Self-love is the bedrock upon which your entire life can flourish, enriching not just your days but the lives of those whom you care for deeply. So I invite you to embrace this journey of self-exploration, to boldly step into the spotlight of your life. Picture your days filled with experiences that ignite your soul and relationships that uplift and inspire you. This is the promise awaiting you when you reclaim your worth, a life fully lived. As you stand at this crossroads of possibility, remember, the universe has been waiting for you to step into your light. It is ready to respond, bringing with it all the incredible opportunities that await you when you choose to live authentically. But here's what changes everything, and this is the shift that will completely redefine your experience. When you truly see that your worth is inherent, not conditioned by others or dictated by their approval, everything transforms. Imagine waking up each morning with a renewed sense of clarity, grounded in the profound understanding of who you are and what you desire. You stop viewing your self-care as a luxury, but recognize it as an essential practice that fuels your mind, body, and spirit. Let's take this further. You might ask yourself, what does it mean to truly prioritize your own dreams? This isn't merely a reflective question. It's an invitation to delve deeply into your everyday choices. It's about crafting a life that aligns with your genuine passions. When you embrace this practice, you'll discover that every small act of self-love has a cascading effect. It ignites your inner flame and, in turn, illuminates the paths of those around you. Now consider this. What happens when you consistently choose yourself? First, you begin to manifest your true desires with incredible clarity and intention. You start to recognize the possibilities that abound when you align your thoughts and actions with your genuine self. When you say yes to yourself, you create space for abundance, the abundance of joy, connection, and fulfillment. A remarkable transformation unfolds, as if you're opening a door that once felt locked, leading to a vast expanse of opportunity. Take a moment to visualize your life filled with experiences that resonate with your soul. Days spent doing what you love, surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you. This doesn't mean dismissing the people who matter to you. Rather, it means honoring your needs alongside theirs, creating relationships that thrive on mutual respect and celebration. You become the architect of a life built on authenticity, choosing to engage only with those who encourage you to shine your light even brighter. But here's the truth, and I want you to absorb this deeply. Transformation often comes with its own set of challenges. As you begin to prioritize yourself, it's natural for those around you to react. They may sense the shifts within you and, at times, feel threatened by your evolving boundaries. Understand this. Standing tall in your self-affirmation is an act of resilience, but it can also evoke discomfort in others. They might challenge your choices or question your motives, but remember that this reflects their own struggles and misaligned perceptions, not your reality. So how do you navigate this terrain? It requires you to embrace the discomfort without shying away from it. When the chatter of disapproval arises, you have a powerful choice. Instead of retreating or dimming your light to appease, fortify your resolve. Stand firm in your truth and recognize that your self-worth is not contingent on someone else's approval. It's about cultivating the clarity to distinguish your inner voice from external noise. Let's talk about practicality for a moment. You may wonder, how do I incorporate self-honor into my daily life? Start small. Dedicate time for activities that nourish your soul. This could be anything from practicing mindfulness, engaging in a beloved hobby, or taking long walks to clear your mind. These self-care rituals are not moments stolen from your responsibilities. They are acts of reclamation. They breathe life into your days and elevate your energy, giving you the fuel you need to navigate life's demands. And here's the beautiful outcome of this journey. It's beautifully intertwined. As you claim your self-worth, you also inspire those around you to embrace theirs. You create a ripple effect that extends beyond personal fulfillment. Imagine creating a community where self-care is celebrated, where vulnerability is met with understanding and authenticity fosters connection. This is the new narrative you're crafting, not just for yourself, but for everyone who witnesses your transformation. But let's revisit the paradoxical nature of self-care. It may initially feel selfish, but it's absolutely necessary. Remember, in order to take care of others, you must first take care of yourself. It's the age-old adage of putting on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. Think of it as radical self-empowerment. The energy you cultivate in your own self-honor radiates outward, creating a more compassionate reality for everyone involved. Now, as you embark on this journey, prepare yourself for the inevitable pushback. There will be times when the guilt resurfaces and attempts to sabotage your path ahead, whispering that you're abandoning your responsibilities. I want you to challenge that narrative. Replace it with the mantra, I am enough and my needs are valid. Each time you affirm this, you reinforce your commitment to living authentically. Ultimately, you hold the pen to your narrative. You're not merely a character in this life. You are the author, the creator. If you find that your current reality doesn't align with your inner truth, it's time to revise the story. Imagine being able to look back at this transformative chapter as the moment you took your life back, the moment your self-worth became a fierce force to be reckoned with. In closing, let me remind you of this. When you choose to honor yourself, you elevate not just your own life, but also those around you. You show them the beauty of living authentically and illuminate paths for others to follow. Embrace this journey, allow self-love to guide you, and step boldly into the vibrant life that awaits you. The universe is ready to respond, ushering you toward incredible possibilities dancing just beyond your comfort zone. So, trust that as you honor yourself, profound shifts will unfold, not only in your own reality, but within the lives you touch. So let's bring this full circle. Remember when I said at the beginning that choosing to honor yourself can feel dangerous? It is, but the danger lies not in the choice itself, but in the transformative power it cultivates within you. This commitment to self-honor demands something fundamental, that you choose to place your truth above the fleeting comfort found in living for others. It challenges you to redefine what it means to be worthy, to realize that your happiness isn't something you owe to anyone else. As you embrace this journey, you might feel the pull to question everything you thought you knew about loyalty and love. Understand this. Loyalty to yourself is the most powerful commitment you can make. When you prioritize your desires and needs, you're not abandoning anyone. Instead, you're forging a path of authenticity, paving the way for genuine connection and mutual respect. Navigating this new relationship with yourself can be an intricate dance. You may find yourself oscillating between moments of clarity and times when doubt creeps in, whispering that you're being selfish. In those moments, I want you to remember the strongest lesson you can carry with you. The deeper you dive into your own self-worth, the more you afford others the same opportunity. By cultivating authenticity in your life, you are creating space for those around you to step into their own. Let me tell you a final story about a woman I once met who faced these same struggles. She was in a loveless marriage, feeling trapped and continuously sacrificing her own dreams for the comfort of those around her. After years of this self-neglect, a stubborn voice within began to nag at her. Remember who you used to be. Then one day she decided to honor that voice. It started with her claiming small moments, taking art classes, engaging with friends more authentically, and even performing in community theater. Each small act became a declaration of independence, pushing back against the trivial chains life had imposed on her. As she began to ignite her true self, something remarkable happened. Her relationship with her husband transformed too. No longer drained by her self-sacrifice, she brought fresh energy into their interactions, sparking joy in what had become mundane. While not an instant fix, her commitment to herself ultimately led to deeper conversations and a more profound understanding of mutual respect. Her awakening echoed through their lives, creating a partnership rooted in authenticity rather than obligation. Now let's contemplate this. As you choose to uplift yourself, you reshape not only your own existence but also the atmosphere around you. Your light becomes an invitation to others, and when they see you thriving in your truth, they are inspired to pursue their own. And here's where the magic happens. You free yourself from the burdens of guilt. By liberating yourself from the script of serving others at the cost of self, you reclaim your agency. You shed those layers that have kept you bound in sameness, emerging as a force of nature in your own life and the lives of those you love. I want to emphasize the importance of creating boundaries. This isn't about harsh exclusion, it's about establishing a sanctuary for your own spirit. Think of boundaries not as walls, but as protective gates that allow positivity in while keeping negativity at bay. You're not merely saying no to others, you're saying yes to yourself. This is vital because when your space feels safe and abundant, you engage with the world from a place of wholeness rather than depletion. So, as we wrap this journey together, I invite you to acknowledge your liberation. You are allowed to release guilt for choosing to prioritize your own well-being, to step fully into the wealth of your potential. Understand that your journey to honor yourself is uniquely yours. There's no right or wrong way to traverse this path. What matters is your commitment to yourself, unwavering in the face of external expectations. Reflect on this final thought. You are not responsible for the darkness that might lurk in others' lives. Your choice to empower yourself does not cast shadows. Rather, it illuminates the pathways for those who are ready to follow. By becoming a beacon of hope, you invite others to honor their own journeys as well. This is the essence of what it means to live authentically, to celebrate your truth, and to inspire others to discover theirs. So as you leave here today, walk boldly into your awakening. Allow this new vision of self-worth to guide you, for your life holds immense value not only for you, but for everyone fortunate enough to be touched by your journey. As you embrace the fullness of who you are, remember, you are cherished, you are worthy, and your existence radiates the power to transform. Now go forth with this knowledge burning brightly in your heart. Step into a life brimming with authenticity, light and joy, and let the world witness what happens when you honor yourself completely.